Hello there everyone, my name is Clink and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. So today we are going to be doing our first big dungeon, Dragon Roost Cavern. So we immediately need to start with pulling a couple blocks to enter the main thing. So one thing I want to mention as we begin this first dungeon is Wind Waker's dungeons are long in comparison to those found in the Nintendo 64 games. Even this very first one is about as long as probably the longest dungeon Ocarina of Time, which I think in my Let's Play at least was the Spirit Temple. So this is definitely a two-part kind of deal. It's not like we're gonna start off with just a small dungeon or anything. No, it's a big one. So we'll be here for a little bit, but first thing we're gonna do is light these torches after taking out the bokoblins to get this small key, the very first one of the dungeon. One thing about Wind Waker's dungeons is you never really need to think about where to use small keys. Like, you'll pretty much always get a small key pretty close to where you need to use it. Go on ahead and use your sword to break that open, and this is kind of like the main central hub room of the dungeon. So we'll be coming through this room quite a few times, but yeah, like a lot of the dungeons in Wind Waker are honestly not very difficult. I would say that on average they're easier than, especially the ones in Majora's Mask. I would say that none of the dungeons in this game are any harder than, I would say the hardest one is about as hard as Snowhead in Majora's Mask. But you know, some of the ones in Ocarina of Time are maybe a little bit more difficult than Snowhead, but the dungeons in this game are a nice, like, pleasant, relaxing experience for the most part. They're still really fun. I like the dungeons in this game, but none of them ever get really crazy complex and blow your socks off or anything, at least to me. But I do like all the dungeons this game has to offer. I think this is the dungeon map in this room, so we can throw these pots with the water droplets onto the lava and make some platforms. We'll be doing that a few times throughout the dungeon, so I'll just go ahead and do another one over. Maybe not. Whoops. We'll just have to make the one platform to get all the way across right here. And I think, yeah, there's a choo-choo up top here, so we're just gonna let him come down real quick. We'll give him a second. And the second he gets down, bonk, you are dead. And give me your chew jelly. Thank you. So, dungeons are going to be a good place to get a decent few rewards. You can find 2 treasure charts in every dungeon. They're kind of like your main side collectible to find here. Right there, Goblin breaks out of that one. So we're going to go ahead and take him out, maybe get some hearts or something. And we can pick up his weapon, and we'll use this to break these open, so that can be quite nice and helpful too. Hello, choo-choos. But yeah, the 2 treasure charts, and then you got your usual compass, map, and big key, so, and the item. But the treasure charts are really the only thing you want to look out for. Usually they involve having to backtrack a little bit through the dungeon to reach them. But I will probably pick them up. I like completing dungeons, even if I'm not going to complete the whole game. I do like to do everything in the dungeons, usually. Unless you're Zelda 1. You just, like, throw rocks at this. I think you can also hit this with a spin attack, though. If I remember right. Yeah, you can. Alright. Just going ahead and dodge that. Just remember, if you hit a bomb flower with your sword, it causes it to detonate a lot faster. But yeah, we've looped it back around. Now that we have a small key, we can open up this door, head right on through. That pathway we can come back to later. That's where one of the treasure charts is, I believe. We'll just take out all the choo-choos in this room. We can break this one open. And then we can get a Deku stick. At least that's what I'm gonna call it. From this bokoblin. And we're just gonna pop. Bye-bye. Because we can light it ablaze. Oh, you are still not dead. Oh well. I'm still gonna light this up. And you're still not dead. Now you are. Loser. We'll go on ahead and open this up to just continue on our merry journey, which we get to go outside. Something you don't see too often during dungeons. But just take him out here. You actually get to go outside in a couple dungeons in this game, or at least see sunlight until basically the last ones, but we'll go on ahead and climb up this ladder. Hopefully I don't get blasted off because there's a lava spout that'll come out right there. You just kind of have to move past it at the right time. And I believe this is a Helmarock, is what these are called. The bird that captured Link's sister is called the Helmarock King. These are basically smaller versions, and they will drop golden feathers. We'll be able to get quite a few of these throughout the game too, so that's pretty cool. Certain strangeness emanates from the quill of this beautifully shining golden feather. Winged girls are said to be infatuated with these treasures, and we can hopefully sidle across this before it comes back out. If it does hit you, you will be sent flying away, unfortunately. But there we go. Just go right across, and I think this is the only time in the entire game that you have to like climb across a ledge like this. I actually forget you can even do this in Wind Waker. Because you just don't ever have to do it. We'll just go up here and get this bomb flower to open the path forward. Oh. And which room is this? This is just a block pushing room. So we'll push a couple blocks in here. Or really cool. Pull these two, and that will open up our path forward. Yay! What's in here? Rat. Rats will steal your money, and... Hey, Tetra. What? Link, have you seen any filthy, thieving rats around? I know that they are annoying, but keep your wits about you. They are only rats. If you spread bait near their nest, they may share their store of treasure with you. Why don't you try it? No. So, the funniest thing about that to me is the fact that the King of Red Lions just suddenly does that. How does he know we have this stone right here? Like, we didn't really tell him about it. Tetra's supposed to be the one who knows about it, and he's just over here using it, so it's like, how does he know about it? I mean, I know how he knows about it, but you know, at this stage of the game, it just seems really forced. But there's the compass, and this is probably going to be a small key. You'll notice that these two chests right here actually look slightly different. So if it's like a pale brown, it's going to have an important item, usually a treasure chart if you find it out in the world. If it's this more like orange-ish brown, pretty much your like, you know, your brown that you would usually think of, it'll usually have a less important item, maybe a joy pendant or something, but in dungeons it could have a small key or something, but it's more of a thing for reference out in the world, more so than in dungeons. But we'll go on ahead and take out this Helmarock as well, because he is guarding a small key. That is such a great frame for him to be frozen on. Alright, let's just walk back here. I do want to kill it, because I want to see if I get another feather. So we'll go on ahead and wait for him to close in, give him some pokes, and feather! Yay! Alright, let's open this door to just move forward. Which is another torch lighting room, it looks like. Yep. Got some keys. Burn this. I just want to light up everything that needs to be lit up before we grab whatever can be obtained in here. I think it's just this chest. I mean, we have the compass, so I can just check. Yeah. This is what the dungeon's map looks like, and as you can see, it's pretty large in here. That chest in the area we went to, that's the one I mentioned earlier that we would have to cycle back around to. But there we go, a joy pendant. We will just, like I said, we just want to be collecting joy pendants. Just be grabbing them when you can. And I think I think I'm moving a lot faster through this than I expected to. But go on ahead place a bomb right here to break this rock. This pot right here will act as a shortcut back to the beginning of the dungeon. If you just go into it, you'll be back at the start, and then you can go into the pot at the start to get back here. Every dungeon will have 2 shortcuts, with one usually being about halfway through and the other being right next to the boss door. So you can use those to get around if you ever need to leave and come back, or you know, you have to get up and stop playing for that session or whatever. It's really nice, honestly. Much like how it's kind of like how in Majora's Mask with the dungeons, you pretty much got a shortcut to the halfway point if you got the item for each dungeon. There we go. I think we need to kill all the bokoblins in this room to actually progress, so I'm going ahead and taking them all out. We do need to light that torch there, though. So is there a Deku stick anywhere around here? There is. Very nice. So we'll pick it up. And this is probably going to be a small key. Oh no, it's kind of pale, so it might actually be the treasure chart, or one of them. Yep, there is a treasure chart. Very cool. Let's go up to the top. So, we have not defeated all the bokoblins in here, because if we open the map, oh no, you just have to beat them all to progress, that's right. One of them is in a pot up here still, so we'll break these. I'm just bringing these for fun, because the one he's actually in is this one. Or not. Oh, it's this one. This very conspicuously placed one. Come on, there we go. I don't know why I was so slippery right there. I couldn't roll into the wall. That was odd. But that'll open up the doors and let us move on. Yay! We'll just head on up here. Up the ladder we go. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward for a lot of this dungeon. Like, unless it's like your very first Zelda game, you probably won't be having to put much thought into what you're doing here. There's one of these things. I don't know what these are called, honestly, but that's what I was afraid of happening. Parrying them is the fastest way to kill them. It's the way I recommend killing them, at least, so let's go ahead. Knock it in, because if you knock it into lava, it'll come back up like this. I want to... Come on. Yep, there we go. I shouldn't backflip off this time. There we go. Because parrying them is a one-hit kill, so we can take it out and have the platform free to us to freely take some water and throw it on that fire geyser. You'll have to wait till the fire geyser comes back down to actually throw the water on, but go on ahead, do that, and then we can ride the platform on up. Very simple, very cool. Wind Waker is actually the start of a lot of the physics-based puzzles that we would eventually come to see in Breath of the Wild, which something that I had realized the last time I played this game is there's a lot of similarities between this game and Breath of the Wild in particular. I feel like their overworlds are kind of similar in terms of like Wind Waker is kind of weird because it's not an open world game, but its overworld is basically an open world. Like, it's really large. It has a set of like 6 or 7 main activities that you just do several times. And there's the other shortcut, by the way, because that is the boss door right over there. We just don't have the things to reach it yet, so. But yeah, it's pretty weird how Wind Waker did that kind of thing, but it certainly makes it very different from, you know, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and even the game after it, Twilight Princess. So it makes the game stand very well on its own. It's its very own distinct thing. The stairs are going to come out from behind you, by the way, as you roll up here, because we are here at Velu. As you can see, Medley is trapped in a cage. Come on, Medley. We're going ahead and take on these bokoblins. Awesome music. Once again. I love how the hits have that increased sound effect, it seems like, with this song. It's awesome. But once we take these guys out, we're gonna have to fight our first moblin head on. It's not too hard though, don't worry. Go on ahead, just give him a nice jump attack. Maybe knock his weapon out of his hand, I don't know. I'm gonna try to make sure that I don't kill him close to one of those ledges. Because usually he'll drop that thing on his neck. That is a skull necklace. That is the spoil of the moblins. I don't remember what they are used for, but there is a reason to collect them. So I might as well pick some up throughout the game if I can. I'm gonna do some sort of attack. Because moblins will sometimes be really annoying when it comes to letting you hit them. Such as right now. I want him to hit me so I can parry him. There we go. I didn't really want to grab onto this, but we knocked away his weapon, so he can't deflect anything anymore. All he could do is punch me. So, there we go. And we have freed Medley, but before we do that, we want to... Oh, I guess he didn't give me his spoils. Oh well. Link, you came to rescue me. Oh, thank you. I have to tell you what I found. This is terrible. Some creature is doing awful things to the Great Value's tail. That's why he's so angry. The Great Value's tail hangs down into the room right below here. There's got to be something in there. I wonder if those mean monsters who captured me have something to do with it. We've got to do something now, before it's too late. I'll go and tell everyone what's happening. Here, Link, use this to get out of here. It's what I used to get this far. It's a device we Rito used before we evolved wings. We got the grappling hook. This was an item used by the Rito people before they had wings. Set it to an item button, and do whatever. You can even use it to haul things up from the seafloor while you're on your boat. Here, Link, climb up on that little ledge over there so I can show you something. And then she just flies away. But, yeah, we can go on ahead and equip this. I'm going to move the bottle over to X, and then I'm going to set the grappling hook to Y. It's a Y kind of item for me, so we're going to do just that. So you'll see a lot of these. Grab this branch with the grappling hook, and you can swing over there to get out of this area. When you aim at a branch that you can latch onto, that thing will appear. Remember that. Don't you worry about me, Link. Get going. So yeah, we can pull it out, and just whee! And then you can swing across. This is the item I was referring to when I talked about in part 2, where like in the original you would have to like come to a complete stop to turn, but you do have to come to a complete stop to be able to climb up and down your rope, and then you have to start swinging again, and I really messed that up, but whatever. So yeah, it's a, you know, your nice little tutorial on how to use the grappling hook that Zelda games always do with their new dungeon items. So go on ahead, learn how to use it, and then we can drop down to the sledge here. But I think I'm going to end this video here, and I will see you guys next time where we will be finishing up the Dragon Roost Cavern. Bye-bye.